Welcome everyone to another of the Lost Souls tournament videos. Today we wanted to start talking about the scenarios for Lost Souls, and so we will be starting with the Signal of Light/Darkness. Lost Souls is using a unique scenario format, designed to provide a living narrative as well as truly challenge players to think and react to new conditions. How this is done is by having 5 scenarios, which are played in a different order based on what faction you fight for: the Scions of Death, or the Arbiters of Life. But we will get more into that later. The scenario we are looking at in this video is Signal of Light or Signal of Darkness. It will be called Signal of Light if you are playing as an Arbiter of Life, or Signal of Darkness if you are playing as a Scion of Death. Both have the same rules, objectives, and deployment, but are played at different rounds of the tournament. Let's start with deployment. Deployment for Signal of Light/Darkness is done using the template for Dawn Attack found in the Warhammer Big Red Book, with one major exception. You and your opponent will alternate deployment as per normal or battle line conditions. Roll off to see who picks the table side and drops first. Dawn Attack deployment divides your deployment zone into 3 parts. Your deployment zone is still only 12 inches deep, but you will see that the outer 2 18-inch sections are separated off from the center 36-inch section. Each time it is your turn to deploy a unit, you will select a unit to deploy, and then roll a d6. On a result of a 1, the unit must be deployed on the on the left flank zone. On a roll of a 2, the unit must be deployed on the right flank zone. And on a roll of a 3, 4, or 5, the unit must be deployed in the center zone. If you are lucky enough to roll a 6, you may choose whichever zone you like to deploy your unit within. Note that characters do not need to roll if they are being deployed into units, and scouts, of course, do not deploy in this way. The whole purpose of this is to simulate a confused and wakened army. The scenario is about your army having to scramble together in the face of an unexpected foe. As such, it will truly test the general's skill at the game to see how they can react in time. Let's take a look at the objectives, and therefore the scenario points that can be earned by completing them. Objectives. Your Scion or Arbiter must signal to the rest of the host of the enemy's presence. But this takes time, and in this war, time is best measured in blood. For every 150 points of enemy core you can claim victory points for, that is, the unit must be completely destroyed, you earn 1 time token. At the game's end, roll a d3 and add the result of the number of time tokens you have collected with the result of the d3. If the result is 6 or greater, your Scion or Arbiter was able to send off the signal, and you earn 10 battle points for the round. If your Scion or Arbiter is killed during the match, immediately roll the d3 and add its result to the current number of time tokens your side has earned. If the result is 6 or greater, your Scion or Arbiter was able to get the signal off in time, and you still earn the 10 battle points for the round. So think of it this way. Say you've killed 600 points of enemy core, and that therefore has gotten you 4 time tokens. When your Scion dies, or at the end of the game, you roll a d3 and you roll a result of a 2. The 4 time tokens plus the 2 from your d3 equals 6, and so long as that result is 6 or greater, your Scion or Arbiter was able to send off the signal, and you have now earned 10 battle points for the round. In either case, either your Scion surviving or dying, if you do not succeed in sending off the signal because your result does not equal 6 or greater, you're still awarded 1 battle point for every time token your army has amassed at the end of the game. But that would be a sad day indeed to miss out on those full points. As with all of the scenarios, your Scion or Arbiter is vitally important. Keep them safe. Lastly, let's talk about the possible matchups that can happen with this scenario due to Lost Souls' unique narrative system. Let's say that you are playing as an Arbiter of Light, and as such, there are 2 possibilities for what you have to prepare for this round. If you're matched up against a Scion of Death, then they will be playing the Shadow Assault scenario. In this match, your forces will be hastily scrambling to signal to reinforcements as your enemy tries to charge in as quickly as possible to stop your Arbiter from spreading word. On the other hand, if your opponent is another Arbiter, Both of your camps awaken to see the enemy camped just over the ridge, and are scrambling to be the first to get your larger forces in order to take the initiative. Lost Soul's unique scenario style will challenge generals to react to the situation, and encourage list building that can deal with all situations. For more info on the scenarios, be sure to check out the scenarios page at lostsoulsgt.wordpress.com. Thank you, generals, and may the dice be always in your favor.